whistles as your 2-minute warning. We're less than 2 minutes away from the next tap off. This is the 9:35 tap off.
Welcome back to the Highfields Sports Complex here at the University of Nottingham. Game 2 of the day is moments away, and it is Switzerland taking on the Netherlands. I'm delighted to say joining me for commentary on this one is Jordan Melling. Good morning, Jordan.
Good morning, mate. You all right?
Yeah, I'm good. Especially after that masterclass by the French in the first game in the Men's Open. Really great performance by them. But mixed open action now. Yep. Switzerland against the Netherlands. Looking at their performances yesterday, Switzerland with a win and a loss. They lost 16-4 to England before recovering with a 10-2 victory over Bulgaria. Netherlands with 2 defeats yesterday. A narrow 9-7 loss to Ireland in their opening game, and then a 13-2 defeat by England in their final game of the day. So both teams will be wanting something out of this game. Yeah,
we caught the Irish yesterday. The Netherlands against the Irish yesterday, and like we said, they started strongly yesterday, and they do have those strike players that can cause a bit of damage for them. I think they'll probably be the favourites going into this game, but it could be 2 evenly matched teams. I think Switzerland obviously playing England yesterday, that would have been a tough game for them, but the game against Ireland yesterday, like we said, if there's a couple of mistakes on line defence that just kept them that 2 scores down throughout the game, and it's obviously tough to get that back once you get yourself in a bit of a shootout, but that'll be interesting to see how they get on today.
And Switzerland, who go straight on the attack. The top try scorer at the moment is Lewis Maloney, who had 3 yesterday, and number 4 for the Netherlands.
So Switzerland going into those 2-man quickie plays, similar to what we saw yesterday with both teams, with a lot of mixed teams. They like to start with those, it's quite simple plays, and they'll work their way to a link sweeper. It's a good touch. So that's what's called a doggies play. It's a sweeper from the middle, and we're trying to expose that link player, and they've chosen to do it on the male link, which is an interesting start. They've gone for that 33 counties. So already, I think we're missing a number there. Can't work out who number 16 is, but they're looking to run a counties play with him. He's going for his right hand.
See if we can find that. Is just quickly to the Netherlands. Anne-Marie McNally is their top try scorer, also with 3.
So yeah, Switzerland working their way through their progressions of their moves already. So give us a little bit of a taste of what they're going to run on line attack. They're starting those sets early with 2-man quickie plays. They're looking to run those link sweepers. They even went into a counties as well. Netherlands lucky to get away with that, and they'll work their way to a 5th touch strike option. And that's a touch pass. Not bad transition. Yeah, not bad transition from the Netherlands. But Switzerland looking more than capable dealing with that.
Yes, it is. Switzerland building down the left-hand side, looking to use their sub-box and do.
Just gives you these opening minutes just give you a little bit of an idea of what both teams' tendencies are and what they're good at. And the midfield D versus transition is such a huge part of the game now. I'd even say 5, maybe 6 years ago it wasn't as much of an emphasis as it is now, but that wins you games at the minute, and you can see teams have a structure and a framework that they like to that's forward a structure and a framework that they like to stick to, and the opposition with their midfield here are trying to disrupt that framework.
That was definitely forward. Switzerland
1-0
ahead as they are in possession again. Again they use their sub box as they look to drive towards the line and double their advantage. It's been a strong start by the Swiss.
Oh, they've got a penalty. That's a big, I won't say a relieving penalty, but it gives you a couple of strikes on Netherlands' line, and they could probably go off touch 2 here if they don't waste this one. A little bit of a burnt touch there. If you're getting the way down to the 7, you want to be running that play there. You've got 6 strikes in a set, but they go into it on the 3rd touch. It's a
space over on the left-hand side. It
was kind of a 32 short, but yeah, they didn't really get that the holes right on that one.
Now Lucas Charlotte just needed a little bit more on the pass. He had 2 players over on his left-hand side.
So Netherlands seem like they've got a little bit more structure on their transition off their subbing. They're going for that middle dump on one. They're trying to get the boy link around to the box as quickly as possible, and seem to have a little bit more of a framework when they're coming on and off the field.
Yeah, they're shouting the touches from, and unfortunately they don't get to 5. Pass is incomplete, and Switzerland will start again.
So they'll look to work their way towards the box now. These guys, this pod has been on for a couple of sets, and bit of contact there. They'll work their way to the box, and now touches 4, 5. They can start to look to run those strike plays. That's 4. Here we come for 5th touch, and their middle players, their strike players, will look to that middle dump. They'll step infield, big pill.
Oh, it was a big long pass. So it wasn't the easiest to take.
Tell you what,
for Misha Trost.
Von Sommers, that's great defence from the Netherlands box side winger. She's done really well to read that the ball's coming over the top. Forget about the link, or forget about shutting on the inside player. She's just turned, gone to her winger, put her under as much pressure as possible, and that's what's forced the error. That's really good defence.
The Netherlands come again.
5th touch, that middle scoop again, and they create a little bit of space.
Oh, there's space out on the right-hand side now, as you've got the speed. Oh, that's superb defending.
Great cover defence, great scramble defence. Really good.
See if we can see this.
So
see this one
again.
Netherlands
have done really well to create a little bit of space on the outside. They create that overlap, but the middle players, 15 and 16 for Switzerland, have done so well to turn and get around. John Weston being one of them, diving in the corner.
Yeah, Josh Weston on Francine van den Berg, who just couldn't get the burners on enough to get it over in the corner, but that was encouraging for the Netherlands. They'll take a lot from that.
Yeah, really nice.
A little hold up here. I think there's an injury on the play.
Yeah. I think it might have been from that dive in the corner. I think people putting the bodies on the line, and Switzerland have coughed up possession there. So Netherlands effectively have got a tap off here. They can sort of take one towards the box. That's good yards on one. That link's offside. She's going to have to retreat, and I think Netherlands should have looked to expose that. But they'll work their way down to the 7.
Yeah, at the 7 now.
And they've gone straight into a short side scoop.
Oh, well taken.
She's done well there. You want to recycle that and then run straight. The line's bent there. You want to run straight into an attacking play. That's a real big shame from Netherlands that the play's broken down there. Switzerland bent all out of shape. He's got in behind. You want to give that straight away.
And he just stumbled. Well, in fact, I think they've got a fresh set of 6.
Yeah, so Netherlands there, 2 plays in a row, got Switzerland all bent out of shape. They look to run a punish play on that link. Step in field, holes there, down.
And
great score.
You can see by the reaction,
really good.
They really enjoyed that one. Vincent Westerhoff putting the ball down.
Good composure, so they've run what's called a punish, and it's just a link on link quickie. So split to the outside. Defender's done well to cover his outside, the step back in field, and the spaces in between that middle channel, which is always a tough one to collapse under, especially when the plays are being run on the link. That's why they're quite effective moves. So
we're all square in this one, and I think the Netherlands deserve that for the way they played in the last few minutes.
Definitely. I think, like we said, that's nice play, well done.
Oh, great comeback from Switzerland. Eva Stauffer putting the ball over, finding really the hole.
Really good composure, and just as we were saying, Netherlands have deserved to come back into it. They've ran that doggies again, that link sweeper, but this time the next progression on from it is to feed the splitter. So he's split it infield. He's getting outside of his opposite defender because the Netherlands defence is so tight. and that's where the space is coming from. And it's just a simple case of hit your holes, deliver that pass, and execute, and that's really nice. Like we were saying, Switzerland probably deserve to be level, but Netherlands have replied really strongly there. They definitely deserve to be in the lead at the minute.
Yeah, so Netherlands.
I would just
7 metres out.
I'd just like to see from Netherlands so they've got quite a few quick players, and they're running the Swiss quite hard left to right. But on the back of it, I'd like to see them run a play off it. So what they're doing at the minute is they're trying to beat people. They're getting caught and having to come back to roll the ball, and it's just stunting their speed and stunting their momentum a little bit. If they can start running plays once that line's bent out of shape, I think that'll be cause all sorts of problems. That's good, hands.
And
that's really good.
The Netherlands, I think they have got their equalising try. They have indeed.
That's good heads up touch footy, really good. He's got on the outside of his middle. So again, it's kind of a punish. They're quite far out there, but he's got on the outside of his middle. 3-on-2, hands. Great finish in the corner.
So 2-2. And we are going to hand over to the studio where Ian has got Robin Bubb with him.
Right, hello everybody. Here we are with Robin Bubb, the chief, shall we say, of England referee. Is that fair to say, Robin?
It's very flattering. I was just saying to someone else that I'm not the guy who's the best referee, I'm the guy who does the spreadsheets and gives them to the best referees.
Well, fair enough. I appreciate the honesty there. Look, I've been really impressed with the game of touch, but of course I can imagine a lot of people might have think they've touched and haven't. How do you make those calls? Because they're so fine, aren't they?
Yeah, it's an honesty sport, so it's more often the other way around, where an attacker doesn't think they've been touched.
Yeah.
Because your shirt's loose, you might have long hair or whatever. Yeah. And what we encourage everyone to do is just accept it's an honesty sport.
Yeah.
You go with what's been claimed. As referees, if we see that player is lying, if we see that touch actually wasn't made,
right,
we penalise that, and it's one of the stronger offences in the game. Not because individually it's going to hurt anyone, but because it's going to destroy the game.
What I like about it is I have seen people just getting on with it. They obviously go to the referee, I did touch, but then they just get straight on, and that must be nice to see, because we see in other sports it's not always quite so pleasant, is it?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think there's two things there. I think definitely there's a good culture in the sport. There'll always be a little bit of a dissent that we wish we didn't get, but there's certainly not any kind of big systemic thing. We don't have referees getting all kinds of difficult treatment. And I think the other thing is it's a really quick game. Like you'll have seen, it's 20 minutes straight through each half. We don't typically have time to stop and have that consultation, and that means players, if they start trying to get into that with us, we can just say no, we're moving on.
Yeah.
And that, I think, also helps. You'd be surprised how often a player really desperately wants to talk to you about something, but if the game goes on for 1 or 2 minutes, they've got other things to think about.
Yeah, absolutely. I won't keep you long. I know you're a busy man, you've got lots to do, but very quickly, how did you get into refereeing?
Oh, so I played a bit. I was terrible. For me, England pays expenses to go to tournaments to referee. It was when I was still playing, and I thought it's a good opportunity to see some high level touch, because where I was playing was small. It was Norwich, so a little bit in the middle of nowhere. Didn't see a lot of touch. Came down to a tournament as a referee, just really enjoyed it. And then that season I did a bit of both. And then looking at the next season, I thought I will always be a pretty average player.
Yeah.
Turns out I'm also a pretty average ref, but they need refs more.
Fantastic. Look, Robin, thanks so much.
Thank
I really
you very
appreciate your time.
Cheers.
We better hand back to Jono and Jordan there for the resumption of Switzerland and the Netherlands.
Thank you.
Many thanks to Ian and Robin there, as we are back with commentary, and it's 4-3 to Switzerland as they go ahead.
We've had an explosion of scores.
Always the way.
Again, it's tell you what, they're just talking about it there. There's some really good touch being played here. They're running, both teams running some really nice plays. They're executing well, and both got starting to get into a bit of a groove of kind of what's working and what isn't. What we were talking about before, I think Netherlands are doing really well to bend the Swiss out of shape. I'd like to see them running plays off the back of that. They've gone into a quickie, step to the short side, great hole!
That's a
beautiful pill.
And it's a great take as well from Henry McNally. And she...
Oh, you got to give that, sir. Yeah, beauty.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you what, that's a really nice play. So all they've done here is run a quickie. The half's going to pick up and go to the short side and pick up against the grain. He sees that's not an option, comes off his right foot, and then he's got a 4-on-3. Pick the right option, and he has. That is just a great touch score. Like a lot of touch scores, you're looking for a player or a move to create an overlap somewhere. All that move has done is created a 4-on-3. Then you want your ball player to pick the right option, and he's just picked perfect. Link hole, that's the one that's open, but this is a really good game. Really enjoying this.
It's a real back and forth, a very close game.
Yeah.
It's Switzerland are the ones they keep going ahead, but Netherlands pegging it straight back.
Yeah, it's really back and forth, and it's not like the scores are frantic and kind of park touch free ball stuff. They're well thought out, they're well planned. Might have been a little fumble there, but they've got away with it. Both teams have got good transition, good rucking. They know what they want to achieve on touches 4 and 5, so that's what they're going to break into now. They're going to sweep over across to get on that boy link. They've got a penalty there, but I'll tell you what, there's two things that you want from your transition. If you can get a penalty because your transition is so up there with intensity, that's such a big win. So then they'll get 6 touches, 6 strikes on the Swiss line, and I would have liked to have seen a strike on touch 1. You want to use every opportunity you've got, so they're going to go on touch 2, a little bit tight in that corner for a quickie maybe, but so now you're halfway through your touch count. If you're Netherlands, you're halfway through, and Swiss, I would see that as a win, that you're 50% through this touch count and not much has happened. They've gone into a sweeper, but that's good defence from Switzerland, really good. It's forced them into a man on, and they've got 1 touch to play with.
I don't think he had control of that as he went over.
That's really good defence for line D from Switzerland. They forced them into probably 2 good strikes. They've done well to force them into that, and they weren't good enough to cause any real problems. So Switzerland will try and return with their transition now. Let's see what they've got. Heavy touch.
Heavy collision.
I think you've got to get... Is that a penalty?
It is. It's a heavy
Referee's
touch.
giving some lovely hand movements.
William.
I'm not sure what they mean, but...
So you meld that.
And it's not often a compliment the refs as well, so they can take that.
I think that will... Well, it didn't matter because it was mishandled, but I think that was forward anyway.
The tough thing there for the Swiss is, even though there was no real decision given off it, they were creating that momentum. The whole set just stopped because of whether it should have been a penalty or was it a loose carry, and we don't know. But they've got to generate momentum all over again for touches 4 and 5, and both teams are kind of stunting themselves a little bit with their transition at the minute, and it's. Yeah, it's a shame because, like you said, we had a really, flowing game of touch. But Netherlands now will get a fresh set of 6.
Yeah, they work it into the middle, maybe looking at this right-hand side, but they come back in again.
So off that penalty there, you really want to be getting to the set. That's they'll be fuming with that. Yeah. If I'm the coach there, I'd be fuming with that. You've got a fresh set of 6. For me there, it's a tough one because you don't really have anything pre-programmed like you do with a tap-off or a sub-in set, but you get to the 7 as quickly as possible, then you've probably got 4, maybe 5 strikes on the opposition line, and they've really wasted that set, especially in such a tight game.
Yeah, there seems to be some errors just creep in.
Yeah, good defence.
Good take, but that was 6 touch, so Netherlands will get the ball back. Very deep in their own half, though. Yeah.
It could be a fitness thing. Again, those errors. Because it's such a tight game. It's been a quick 15 minutes, and it's like the last 2 minutes. Whether it is a bit of fitness, bit of fatigue, or you're not really sure. But they'll go straight back into a 32 short with the Swiss, and they'll go straight to the open side. That's where the space is. Good.
Yeah.
Good skills. Good execution. Good score.
So Switzerland take a 1 point lead
An
once
interesting-
again.
An interesting one, that. So it's kind of a 32 short, so the middle's coming on that hard short line. The rapper's getting around. He's not really looking to go short side at all. He's gone straight to the open side. And it's come about because the Netherlands defence is just so tight, which, yes, you do have to be, but you need to be able to keep your hips square and be able to get back across and chase anything to go out. And that's twice that they've kind of run that, and Netherlands have replied with a mistake. So it's a big couple of minutes for the Swiss.
It just seems to have been quite a few errors that have crept into the Netherlands game over the past 5 minutes, and I mean, Switzerland have really only made them pay for it once.
Yeah. Well, that when we watched them yesterday against the Irish, it was a similar kind of story. They started strong, and then there was those couple of errors, and that allowed Ireland to pull away. I mean, if the Swiss can score here, it's not far off the same story that we had watching them yesterday, and that's forward, that's an error. So it doesn't look like the Swiss will pull away to that extent. Netherlands have got 40 seconds here to maybe get through their transition nice and quickly. Hopefully they'll get some comms from their box, from the coach. They've coughed it up again. They're killing themselves with these errors.
Yeah, they really are starting to punch themselves, and it's only so far that they'll be able to hold on. Maybe another handling error there, this time by the Swiss.
The thing is, because Netherlands, they are making errors. The Swiss are as well. They've made them pay for it a couple of times. I think if I'm the Swiss here, I'm thinking I'd want to be converting on those opportunities and making them pay. I mean, they could have pulled away with this. I think Netherlands, I'd be obviously frustrated with the amount of errors I'm making, but I'd be happy with the score at the minute.
Yeah, I think there's going to be frustrations in both camps, isn't there? I think the Swiss, because they haven't managed to take full advantage of all the errors that Netherlands had at the end. And then the Netherlands are going to be frustrated because they're coughing up all the errors.
Yeah, it's a strange one. I was just thinking kind of what I'd be wanting to hear, or what I'd be saying in the box right now. And like you said, it was a really good opening 15 minutes. So like we're seeing now, some really good touch scores, and the well thought out, the pre-planned. Like we're here running a doggies play. They're going to pick up in field, and that's where the space is, because the Netherlands defence is so tight. And those are training ground moves that have now translated to the field, and that's what you want to be seeing. A link quickie punished. They scored off it early with the step back. This time they go to the outside and execute it well, but that's kind of from there. That's when both teams started making those few little errors, and Switzerland just haven't been able to make Netherlands pay for those errors. Good score again. Quickie step back, hit your holes well. I think if I'm Netherlands, I think the obvious one to pick up on is the fact that we're making quite a few errors. So we've got to sort that out, because when we don't make errors, this game is on an even keel pretty much. Switzerland, on the other hand, I think I'd be a little bit frustrated. That was the best score of the day for me. That was brilliant. Really good holes, good right foot step, good execution. And then we're seeing here, because the Netherlands defence is so tight, it's straight. They've got an overlap straight away. I'd just be looking if I'm Netherlands, and it's a little bit of a comment I made on them yesterday. It's their pre and post touch on line defence. All we mean by that is pre-touch is your body position, your footwork prior to making the touch, and that goes for every not just the toucher itself. It's the people getting onside as well. You want to be getting back as early as possible, so you're ready for your post touch. Post touch is everything after the touch. It's keeping your hips square to the line. It's not collapsing under. It's being able to read the play and shift across if possible, and that along with obviously the error count is the thing that probably has put Switzerland just over the edge.
We see both teams in tight huddles. Netherlands obviously will be going through a few plays, but I think the big message from there will be, please cut out the errors.
That'd be mine. I mean, you don't want to want to overload your players with points going into the second half, and you kind of want to just give them 2, maybe 3 simple things to focus on, and errors will be the top of my list. Definitely, errors would be the top of my list. My second would probably be line defence and just being sharper on pre-touch and being smarter on post-touch. Those would be my 2. I should be a coach, me. I should be a touch player.
Yeah, a coach of a development team, maybe.
Jesus. National champion, me.
For those who are wondering what we're going on about, we should you are, of course, coach of the Wigan Warriors.
Just being taken down a peg.
So it was the Netherlands who have the tap off. They'll be wanting to start strongly in the second half, won't they? One behind. If they can get it back on level terms from this drive.
We keep saying it, and I will keep saying it for the next 5 days. The second half tap off is massive, especially in games like this when it's so close. Like, from a defensive point of view, it could be a 2-way swing. It's similar to an intercept where you're thinking the attack's going to score. Like, off a tap off, most good teams will have 1, 2, maybe 3 tap off moves that they know they are likely to get a score off. Netherlands, I think, going off how they've been playing today, will have a tap off move that they're going to run here. I don't think they're just going to work their way to the line and see what's going to go on. I think they're going to run something that they will be likely to score off or cause some damage off. So, with that being said, if they don't score off it, 1, it's a bit deflating. 2, you're giving Switzerland the chance to run their transition and work their way upfield. So they're going to go into a 32 short, and they're going to go to that short side, find a little bit of space. Good hands. I think that's a touch pass. So yeah, like we said, it's the play that they want to run off their tap off is a 32 short. They've noted that the toucher has probably pulled maybe a little bit too straight, and they've gone for the short side, and it's quite a good defence from Switzerland. They've managed to, what they did really well there is, whether they recognised it or not, they made the short, the play, they made it run in the tiniest of spaces, the tightest of spaces in that corner, and that was good feet, good touch.
Yeah, good high defence by the Netherlands to get the ball back.
We talk about it a lot, but midfield D is huge. Midfield, and a lot of it is just attitude, and it's attitude and fitness and moving in the right places.
Good drive so far by the Netherlands. Yeah, taking advantage of that great D play.
Link punish.
Space over on the left-hand side
She's
again.
Offside. That's played through. Penalty.
So fresh set of 6.
Yeah, absolutely.
On the 7.
What they've done really well there, and it's mixed touch. It's moving those chess pieces to get that to get the right opportunity to get guy on goal, and that's why good goal links are so valuable in mixed touch. What they've run there is a link punish, guy on goal, and they've got a penalty from it, and they'll run it the other side. This time it's not as effective as the other side. So Netherlands seem to, obviously they do have those pet plays, and each pod will have a pet play, but they seem to be wanting to run those punishes quite a bit. What Switzerland are doing really well, and it's what Netherlands struggled with against Ireland mixed yesterday, is they're running a pocket defence. So you've got a middle going up really high, and you've got the boy link going up really high. Now they've got a boy sat back. There's the hole. That's a great touch.
It was great defensive touch. Oh no, or is it? No, it's been given.
I thought he put his hand up. I thought that was a great recovery, but we've seen that a few times now.
We'll see it again on the replay, hopefully. And
so we're talking about that pocket defence. That is how to expose it. Because that boy middle is up so high, he's gone down on the link, he's split to the outside, he's come off his right foot. Is he claiming it? No, I think he's saying no. Nah, he's saying no. That's great honesty.
Great honesty, yeah.
I thought we had it. But yeah, we're talking about that pocket defence, we're talking about how to expose it. And I'd like to think that is from me telling them yesterday. Maybe, probably isn't. I won't listen to me. But you know, we talked about it yesterday when they played Ireland. Ireland ran a pocket defence, and it was really effective against them, and Netherlands didn't figure out a way to fix it. What they've done there is a move to exploit that pocket defence, because the boy middle's up so high, so aggressive. If you can go down on the boy link, split to his outside, step back in the middle, that boy middle who's come up really high and aggressive, he's got a good 7-8 metres to get back on side. If you can hold him up for as long as possible, that's really well thought out. So they'll go back to the middle quickies. Good feet, good D, well done. That's really good.
Let's hand back over to Ian in the studio, who has a guest with him.
Thank you, John. Yes, here we are. Delighted to say we are joined by John McDonald, the assistant coach for the Dutch team. Now, John, this is going to be one of the tightest games we've seen so far. What do the Netherlands do to need to get this game over the line?
So what we've spoken about is maintaining composure. We're a very experienced team, and we're looking to stay calm and just execute our game plan. And we think if we do that, then we've got a very good chance of winning this game and playing some good touch.
It's a really great game out there, isn't it? What have you said to the team before they went out for this match?
Yeah, so exactly what I just said. We just, myself and Masayo, who's the head coach, we just spoke about execution, about being calm, not worrying about the score, anything like that, just playing our game, playing it well, and enjoying ourselves.
One final question. I know you want to get down there, you're very eager to go, and I get that completely. But before you play a game, how much research goes into the opposition before you actually take to the field? Yeah,
so we do try and watch them. We're looking mainly for the kind of age range of the opposition, how much experience they have, and we very quickly, a lot of touches the same, the sub-box moves are often the same, the attacking moves are often the same, but we just research which ones they do especially well, and then we seek to defend against that.
John, thank you so much for joining us. Go on, get back down there, go and enjoy it. Thanks so much. Right, let's get back to the action. I don't want to keep you over. Let's hand back to Jono and Jordan. Enjoy.
Thanks very much, Ian. No further scoring. Woo-hoo. It's Switzerland who are on the attack. We're 5 minutes into the second half.
Good feet. Oh, that's just good. Heads up.
He's through.
I'm a big fan of the throwback to halfway as well. Big fan. Well done.
Great score. Number 16.
I think that was that last touch. That's just good feet. He's just got ball in two hands. He gets to the outside of his opposite defender. Netherlands will be disappointed with that. So just most scores that are scored have been scored in this game. They've been pre-planned touch scores, and that was probably one of the few that wasn't. It was a little bit of off the cuff.
I think for the Netherlands defender there as well, he had Josh Weston coming up on his left hand side, and
he's got to stay. He's got to, yeah. He has to, yeah. It's essentially man on man, and that's a great ball, great dive. I think he's given forward. What a shame, because I'll tell you what, number 9, Fon Sommers. That is an excellent mixed wingers finish. If we're able to watch that again, the way she catches it, she's catching it as she's diving, and she's able to get nice and low to the ground. And
there's an injury on the far side.
Yeah.
I think she's hurt quite badly by the looks of it.
Yeah,
everyone rushed around.
Didn't see what happened there. Hope she's all right. It looks to be a lower body injury with a limp. I don't think it's anything head on.
Because they've already lost Francine van den Berg.
Yeah, they have. Yeah,
who he's still sat below us.
Yeah,
with what looks like a leg injury.
I think it looks like she's staying on. She's giving the box a little thumbs up.
Good, yeah, just
yeah, I think maybe a rolled ankle or something like that, but let's hope she's all right.
I suppose it's one of those things where she's probably said, I need to stay out here for a couple of minutes to see if I can run it off.
Netherlands have received the penalty as well, so this is a really big set for them. This game's flying by.
Yeah, they've managed to come back each time. And
too far out.
Switzerland. Oh, great pass!
Good finish. That's outstanding.
We almost saw it come off before it came off that time.
I tell you what, it's not the best defence from Netherlands. So this is I was mumbling that Quickie was too far out. For some reason, that the Switzerland winger comes in. Somers has still got plenty of work to do there because the boy Links recovered well. But that dive, low to the ground, 2 hands out, mega dive.
And Netherlands come back again. They are not allowing Switzerland to stretch away with the lead. And you do wonder, it's one of those sort of games, Netherlands haven't led at all in this game.
Nope.
And it's one of those games that if you think you manage, they do snatch the lead.
Yeah.
Could they then stretch away and take the
thing,
game?
Yeah. It's a really tough one. This, I think if I'd want to be in one of the boxes now, I'd want to be in the Netherlands box. They're the ones that have got the tails up. They seem to be growing into this one a little bit more with each minute. That's good yards. That's outstanding. Get that down.
Great
Get that
speed.
down and go forward.
Darren Brown.
No, stay in field. So you don't want to waste this now. I think that's only 4 touch. So you want to play off this. I'd want to be feeding somebody down, picking up off this. Pick up, Quickie. There's your space. That's a shame. Yeah,
Good defence, to be fair.
It was a good defence. They recovered really well. Good scrambling defence. And with 10 minutes to go, this is poised really well.
As we said from their previous results, both teams are going to want to take the victory here.
Definitely, they seem to be really well matched. These are the kind of games that bump you up a place in the table, and it's really well poised. They've got a 32 shot. They're a little bit too far out, and he's looking to just get around his opposite player. Leave it. Oh, she's done well there. Always risky for a winger to take one of those, but she's done it well, and they've been rewarded with a 0 touch. So that's 1. Yards again, that's only 2. I'd go straight in there, take those yards. That 3rd touch. Now 4 and 5, this is where you want to be. This is where you want to be working towards your strike plays. Plough in, pick up, go short side. There it is, straight through.
Space on the
side. What a score!
Oh yes, and you can see the celebrations from Lindsay Schrader there. His arms in the air.
I tell you what, that was outstanding. They did it really well. They hit that far side middle, pick up and go short side. There's straight through. Switzerland looking to mirror.
Reagan Kirk with a great pass.
Really good. Netherlands have got some great finishes on either side, and that's one of the reasons they're up at the minute. They're playing really well.
So Netherlands lead for the first time in the game. Can Switzerland come straight back?
Good D, well recognised. They're looking to run that link sweeper again, and the progressions just aren't as effective as they are in the first half. Netherlands are defending really well at the minute. So they've gone for a counties play. They'll pick up and go short side again.
Oh, well taken.
Fantastic D. Fantastic D. I think I can't emphasise enough how well the Netherlands wingers are playing at the minute on both sides of the ball. Scoring one end, finishing in the corner, and then great defence on the other.
And good yards again by the Netherlands.
That's a shame. They lost a little bit of momentum there. I'd be looking to go. So what Switzerland are doing well every so often is when Netherlands are coming on for their transition, they're flooding that play and shutting it off. If I'm Netherlands now, the only thing I would change is to come back towards the box.
Oh, it's an interception.
Well done to chase back.
Oh, great touch. Great recovery.
What a game this is. They've got space in the corner. Well done, Netherlands.
Well,
to recover there.
That's incredible recovery. It's still not over for them though. Switzerland with touches to play with. It was a great interception.
Link sweeper, step in field. They've had joy off that.
Oh, and it's well.
Netherlands will be buzzing with that.
You could say Netherlands have got away with it there, but to be fair, the recovery and defence after the mistake was made was exceptional.
Yeah.
And now they have the ball again.
They've done so well there. I was thinking that's not the play. You're one up, like your transition's working well. I don't think a no-look pass is the play you want to be running. Good yards again. Pick up off that. Yeah,
Damn.
That's great.
Have they stretched it? They have indeed. Oh, look. Oh, he's happy with that, isn't he? As he puts the ball down, look at the smile as he comes off.
I wouldn't be rushing to get the ball down because they're leading. I'd be slowing this right down. Their Netherlands transition is the thing that's winning them again at the minute. They've only got 5 on. I think they're celebrating a bit too much. Then now back to a full complement.
But we said this, didn't we? That if Netherlands could get ahead, the first time that any of these teams have been 2 ahead in this game.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, they've just got the tails up and they've not really looked back since.
Yeah. You can see it, but I mean they are just below us, but they're buzzing down there. Yeah. You can see.
Good noise
exuding
from the box.
confidence.
Yeah. Nah, that's a bit of a shame. Half court. The referee's got it. So. Yeah, it's a shame that because that was building quite nicely, and obviously you've got your strike players, they just seem to be slowing down a little bit there. They've opened the door a little bit for Switzerland to get back into this with that error.
Switzerland, they need something on the board.
Yeah, better transition. They just killed the momentum a little bit. I would have looked to go off that, but they'll go straight into a 32 short. The line's there. Good dive.
I think he got
nice
that.
And low. I would say that's ball down. Back in this game on.
Yeah, James Beresford there,
Really
diving
good.
through.
Got a little bit of an injury as well. But it's a 32 short. They actually go on the link, so it shouldn't be as effective. But he's just thought, I'm going to get as low as possible, go as hard as possible. It's a good dive, and that sets us up for a big 5 minutes.
It was his own teammate that fell into him that has caused the injury. He's not walking with a limp, so I think it's just something that.
Kind of
a bit of rest.
Kind of came from how Beresford, how hard he came on the shot. I don't know if you recognise that they went on the wrong player, but I think he just thought, I'm just going to go as hard as possible and get that ball down and see what the ref gives, and that was really good. So Netherlands have got to be composed now. They don't need to panic. They're still up, but at the same time they've not won this game yet. That's down.
Is a consultation between
ball down. That's a huge score.
A huge try.
Really good.
It's Lindsay Schrader again.
Really good. They've got to the outside really well here, and it's good. They've just got the ball down as quick as possible.
So Netherlands restore their 2-point advantage.
Ooh. So that was interesting, that set. I think Netherlands could have easily gone into their shell a little bit, thinking we're 1 up. Let's be safe. Let's try and lock the game out a little bit. That's a good bit of acting. That was interesting. So they're going back into those quickie plays. Big old dummy. Good D from the Netherlands. They're not buying that. And it's a good job the referees didn't buy that. Terrible acting that we just saw as well to try and get a penalty.
Well kept. Almost went into touch
yeah,
there.
That was brilliant. Third touch. They're just finding it so easy to get to halfway on third. So that's 4. Plough in, pick up. Slow down a little bit. So that's 5th. They'll pick up. Good D from Switzerland. Oh, well done to avoid that touch.
It's Bradley Bonifacio. We saw him. He went off injured in that after that Swiss try, but he's back on, and what an impact he's made.
So he's done really well here. The pick up and go short side. I thought Switzerland had defended it quite well. They actually get to the outside of their player, and that might have locked the game up, and fully deserved. I think, especially in the second half, Netherlands have just looked so much more composed, and it's their transition that's really done it. And like we said in the first half with the errors, that whether Switzerland's midfield defence has dropped off because of fatigue or fitness, we're not sure.
Oh, big long pass.
Good D. Fon Summers again.
I think there needs to be a shout there possibly from Anna Bradford, because I think that was probably her ball.
It could have gone to the link or the winger, but what Fon Summers has done really well is she's kind of been able to make both touches. She's picked the right option in the end and forced the link to obviously make the error. But I think she could have made both. I think she's had a really good day. Oh, great feet!
Just didn't have the pass at the end of it. Superb.
If Darren Brand could have just stayed outside his link there, that's 3-on-2 and a bit of a walk in. But
I say we're almost into the final minute now. Netherlands are going to take this 3 ahead, and they've really taken that impetus from going into the lead. Don't forget that it was 6-all. They made it 7-6. That was the first time they went into the lead, and they've been dominant since then.
Like I said, they've played really well. They deserve this 3-score lead. They've played some really good touch. It's been a great game, and I think Switzerland started really well. They played some really good stuff. They knew what they wanted to run, and they ran it well. But Netherlands have just been. Oh, what a finish!
Great pass out.
I was debating whether to give Fon Summers MVP. Most valuable player performance in this game, and then that's just sealed it for me. That is an excellent mixed wingers finish. She's diving before she's caught it, like she's already going to the ground and knee down. She's catching the ball as she's going down, and to finish that, like as it's coming towards you, that's what you want from your wingers. If you're a ball player, that is what you want from your wingers, and that's outstanding.
You know, this has been an outstanding victory for the Netherlands. And you see by the way that the ball was thrown away in anger there by the Swiss player. They're going to be annoyed.
They will be. Yeah, they will be. They really will. Like I said, they started so strongly, and whether it is a bit of fitness, Netherlands were a little bit more composed. I'll tell you what is great to see, the fact that we commentated on them yesterday against Ireland, and then to see them 24 hours later with a much improved performance, having improved on things that we talked about yesterday. Like we said, their post touch was miles better today. They were running way better against pocket defence, which is what they struggled with against Ireland yesterday morning. For them to come back and do that, and especially they were down, and both teams were a little bit level. I would say at one point in the first half Switzerland were the better team. To pull away and finish 4 scores ahead, great performance, great game, really enjoyed that.